Hello everybody and welcome to Hawk Talk. What do you think of that name, by the way? I came up with that. But anyway, this is the home of following Hampshire Hawks in their upcoming Global Super League campaign, which is exciting, isn't it, for us county cricket fans? We were all ready to batten down the hatches for Christmas, drink our mulled wine, do our Christmas shopping, but oh no, put those things on hold because cricket is back.
Oh, that's come right out of the middle. Oh, that's a really good catch in the deep.
There's Fuller. Strikes that again. Has he got enough on that? Oh, 6 more! Post boy stumped. Oh, Liam Dawson.
And that is a terrific catch.
Goals, and there's a lovely hit on the leg side. Has he got enough on it? He has. It's gone for 6. Things haven't gone quite in his favour. It's Brad Wheel on. He's going to be caught at mid-on. Goals to the left-hander. Oh, he's gone for the flick away on the leg side. He's got hold of that.
Big connection, meaty connection, goes all the way.
He's in and bowls. To press, swings this away through the offside for 4 runs.
Middleton gets that one up and over mid-off.
Yeah, told you it's going to be exciting. Good to have some cricket back, and this is going to be the home of Hawk Talk inside the changing rooms here at Utilita Bowl. And I'm delighted to say that alongside me is Hampshire Hawks captain for the Global Super League, Chris Wood. Nice to see. First of all, thanks for having us in your changing room. This feels like a sacred space we're in here, and this is your booth behind here as well. And talk us through sort of the changing room vibe, because I know cricketers notoriously messy, right? Yeah. Who's the messy ones here?
Well, I think you're looking at a very clean spot there behind us at the minute, but if you were looking...
Took us half an hour to make that.
Yeah, if you were looking behind the camera, I think you'd think otherwise. We've got a few messy lads in the change room, a couple of spots to my right. We've got Tom Press down there. There's a couple tucked round the corner. We've got second part of the change room around there, and Joe Webley's got about 15 bats, 100 pairs of gloves, and all sorts going on around there.
Amazing what you do for telly, isn't it? But anyway, it's good to see you, and this is exciting, right? Global Super League coming up, and hey, this is a bit better than just winter nets in those cold indoor schools. So just tell us about how it came about, when you found out that there's going to be a tournament that you guys are going to be a part of.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, I started hearing murmurs of it a couple of months ago, and everybody was a little bit apprehensive. Isn't it going to happen? You know, and it started to get very real over the last sort of month or so. We're now back in. We've got a couple of weeks training, and we hit the ground running in a couple of weeks in Guyana.
Oh, well, as we're recording this, it's going to be in a couple of days' time as well when this goes out. So just tell us a little bit about how, from your side, the preparation has gone for the tournament, because obviously it's completely different conditions, completely different to what you've experienced here in England for the Vitality Blast. So what do preparations consist of?
Yeah, so we're acutely aware when we get out to Guyana, it's probably going to be sort of spinning conditions. We've looked at the stats based around the CPL, and you know, Guyana tends to be a low-scoring pitch with the odd flat wicket in there. So we're going to have to adapt quickly. But there's a lot of training up in the indoor school, facing spin. We've got a lot of young spin bowlers outside of Hampshire that have come in and bowled to us in different scenarios, and it's going to be a lot of adapting against spin in all phases of the game. Often in England here, we just see spin through the middle, maybe the odd over in the power play. But stats suggesting Guyana spins heavy in power play, middle and death.
Well, let's take you through how the tournament is actually going to work as a whole then. So, new tournament in Guyana. This is the first time it's ever happened. It's all taking place set up by Cricket West Indies. There are 5 teams involved from around the world, and then there's going to be a quick splash tournament as well, 11 games across 12 days, so 26th of November until the 7th of December. All games are going to be played at the Guyana National Stadium. Everyone plays everyone, and the winners go into the final. And this will make your ears prick up, Woody, $1 million to the winning team as well. And here are the teams that are going to be involved. We have the Guyana Amazon Warriors. They are the home side, all come from the Caribbean Premier League, going to be captained as well by former Hampshire man Imran Tahir. Then we have the Lahore Calendars. They've come from the Pakistan Super League, and Darren Goff is their coach. We also have the Rangpur Riders from the Bangladesh Premier League, with the likes of Matthew Ford, who was impressive against England recently in their series in the West Indies, and also Victoria as well, who are part of the One Day Cup in Australia. Expect a bit of a hybrid there of Big Bash players from the Renegades and the Stars, and of course Hampshire Hawks as well. And this is how the Hampshire Hawks fixtures line up. It all kicks off on Wednesday 27th of November, taking on the Rangpur Riders. That one an 11 o'clock start UK time in the evening. Then a couple of days off before taking on the Lahore Calendars on Saturday 30th of November. That one a 2 o'clock in the afternoon start our time. Then the very following day it is taking on the home side, the Guyana Amazon Warriors. That one also an 11 o'clock start in the evening. Then rounding off the group stages on Thursday 5th of December, England versus Australia, the Hawks against Victoria. Then with a bit of luck, it'll be a final on Friday the 6th of December. And Woody, some big names playing in this tournament. We heard the likes of Moeen Ali, Dwayne Pretorius, Roston Chase, all going to be a part of it. That's exciting, right?
Yeah, absolutely. I think, the T10 in Abu Dhabi is playing alongside this. So the likes of, Imran Tahir and Moeen Ali to choose a fresh tournament, essentially. I know they both played for Ghana in the CPL recently, but to have those names in and amongst, I'm hearing a few names from England floating around playing that Lahore team. I'm hearing the likes of Rossington maybe out there, Tom Abel, and there's some good players that have chosen to go to this Global Super League as opposed to T10, so it looks like an exciting challenge.
Well, let's take a look at the Hampshire Hawks squad then that's been named for this tournament. Some exciting players in there. You'll keep an eye on those overseas players, of course. But I want to talk, actually, Woody, to you about the young players. We see the likes of Sonny Baker in there for the first time, Felix Organ, Fletcher Middleton. A really exciting chance for some of these players who have played most of their cricket in England to actually go and experience some cricket abroad.
Absolutely, it's a fantastic opportunity. We're very lucky that we are the county that's going out to Guyana to play, and although there's going to be a lot of adapting that needs to happen quickly when we get out there, the chance for these young lads is huge. The landscape of cricket is changing and changing fast. There's a lot of franchise cricket, and you're going to see the likes of Toby Albert, Tom Prest out there, who are notoriously very good players of spin in England. It's going to be a different challenge from out there, but looking to see them excel under those conditions. And the world's their oyster for these young lads going out into this GSL. There's going to be eyes on from all around the world, and all it takes is one of those young guys have an unbelievable tournament, and their whole cricket landscape will change.
First chance to see Sonny Baker in a Hawks shirt as well. I know there was a lot of excitement when it was announced in the summer that he was going to be coming to play his cricket here at Utility Bowl. Just give us a little insight as to him as a cricketer. You've spent some time with him over the past few months.
Yeah, absolutely. I think what you can expect from Sonny out in the GSL in Guyana will be serious pace. I think he'll be touching around 90 mile an hour. So that brings a new dynamic to our team out there. We said a spin heavy, but also pace will play a big part. And the wickets tend to be slightly slower out there, so that bit of extra pace is going to be key, certainly in that tournament.
Now, it is a young squad, and we've got the likes of Joe Weatherly in there, who I know had maybe a little bit of a quieter summer than he would have liked, but he's now someone who's actually, you think he's young, but he's actually played a fair few seasons for the Hawks now. Is he someone that you, as sort of a part of the leadership team and captaining the side, you're going to ask people like him to come as part of the leadership team?
Absolutely. Joe and I have been the ones that have been in conversation with Giles around the pre-prep to this tournament. He's going to be a big part out there. He's the sort of glues of middle order together. He'll bat 4 or 5 probably out there. And his experience now will be key. Another good player of spin. So yeah, hopefully he plays a big part in those 4 very quick games, and then hopefully a 5th, as you say, into the final.
And those games do come thick and fast, don't they, when we looked at the schedule. For you as a captain, this must be a really nice opportunity. I know you've sort of done little games one-off here and there, but this must be quite nice to actually, a bit like a player in general, have a run of games where you're able to put your spin on the side.
Absolutely. I'm incredibly looking forward to it. It's a great privilege to captain the side. And like you said, for that small little period, I think most exciting bit for me is, it's actually away from England. So we're going to be as a group of 14 for a period of that couple of weeks, and we're going to have to stick together throughout. It's not like in England where, lads have got their own stuff on outside of the cricket, and looking forward to, putting my stamp on it and getting behind the lads and hopefully putting on a good show.
What is the Chris Wood stamp? Are you a motivational speaker? Are you quite chill? What kind of captain are you?
I think I'll probably say an element of both. Obviously, I'm relatively inexperienced when it comes to captaincy. I've done it a lot in the second team T20 games, sort of in those lead up to the first team T20 games, but I've only had one opportunity to do it when Vincey was away in first team cricket. So it's going to be very new to me. I'll be leaning on the likes of Liam Dawson, people like Benny Howe, who have played a lot of cricket as well. Like I said, it's going to be about adapting fast and getting the lads in the right frame of mind to go and perform, but perform quickly. Because we're going to need to win probably 3 games to qualify, and franchise cricket is quite brutal. It's going to be very different to the Blast, where you've got like a elongated period and you can start slow and maybe catch up, or you're going to have to hit the ground running and adapt very quickly.
Is that then, from a captaincy perspective, almost where you need to keep it simple? Will it be a case of sort of one message per game and actually trying to keep the messaging throughout the tournament fairly simple?
Yeah, and I think we've actually pondered on the idea around analysis and how much we're actually going to use it. We use it a lot in England. For every game, we'll have analysis on the batsmen and the bowlers. But it's going to be unique for us out there, very different. We're wondering whether we go down the route of focusing more on ourselves, and what we're good at, as opposed to looking at the opposition in as much depth as we do here. Because obviously you throw into the mix when you're in England, every player that's going to be out on that field as well. Well, we necessarily might not when we're out in Guyana. So like I said, it can be adapting quick, but probably focusing more on ourselves than the opposition.
And it does feel like, given the size we've got, I know that the Amazon Warriors, of course, are going to have home advantage. They're used to the conditions. But other than that, it's 4 sides from around the world who just need to basically find who can adapt to conditions quickest.
Yeah, absolutely. Like you said, Guyana, they've done well in the CPL the last few years, and they bolstered their team, and they look probably the strongest on paper, which is fine, right? That serves it up for the rest of us to take them on at some stage throughout the tournament. But as you said, it's going to be very different for all the other 4 sides, maybe outside of the Bangladesh team and the Pakistani team, who are very good players of spin naturally. So we're going to have to hit the ground running and make sure we've done enough preparation here around playing spin and reverse sweeps and stuff like that.
Well, we know you've got a plane to catch, so we're going to not keep you too much longer. A few quick fire questions before we go. First one. Who wouldn't you want to sit next to on the plane? You've got a long old flight out there. You're not used to doing that. You normally just head up to Derbyshire on the coach. Who don't you want to be next to on the plane?
That's a pretty easy one for me, to be honest, and that's James Fuller. Tall man, 6'5". I believe we're in economy.
So are you, though. You're a tall man.
Yeah, so 2 of us tall lads next to each other. He'd probably try and eat my food. And he'd probably wedge me in by sleeping the rest of the flight that he's not eating, so I'll be forever tapping him on the shoulder to get out to use the loos.
Sounds like also you wouldn't want to be sat next to me on a plane. Who is in charge of the sun cream? It's going to be warm out there out in Guyana. Have you got a specialist?
We haven't as yet, but it's normally the physio. Us players are relatively poor at remembering those kind of things. It's always a scurry around when it's hot. Beers, where's the sun cream? But he'd probably tell us before we leave to make sure we pack it. But I'll probably be tapping him on the shoulder.
A little bit of zinc on the nose, is that what's going to do?
Not for me, but you will see a few of the lads with zinc, I'm sure.
Something to think about maybe, although just the lips. Finally, out in Guyana, we know that they like a party. We know they like their music. If there is one song that you could walk out to out there, what would it be?
Well, I'm not sure about the song that I'd walk out to, but Graham Welsh, who's going to be our head coach out there, put a song that was actually out in Guyana from Poonam Singh. I think the song's actually called Guyana, ironically. And he's been playing that in team meetings and all the prep that we've had in lead up to the tournament.
Oh, good. We'll have to look that one up. Very good. Well, listen, it's lovely to see you. Nice to see you looking so well, and we'll see you in a few weeks looking way more brown than you do now.
Brilliant.
Nice to see you. Good stuff. Right, all kicks off then in just a couple of days' time. This, of course, part 1 of our preview. We have part 2 coming up in a couple of days' time. We're going to be joined by the Hampshire Hawks team analyst Matt Funnell for that one. And don't forget as well, we are just a couple of days away from the fixture announcement for next year as well. So Hampshire Hawks, men and women, across the Vitality Blast, the One Day Cup, and of course the County Championship. So keep an eye across all of Hampshire Cricket's social across the next few days and a couple of weeks as well for the Global Super League. And we will see you for part 2 of Hawk Talk in a couple of days' time.